Hey guys, it's Dave. I'm in Seymour, Indiana at the city cemetery here. And here's the grave of the Reno brothers. I'll tell you a little bit about the Reno brothers as we walk to their grave. And we'll kind of look at some stones as we walk here. Starting off with this one, pretty unique looking chapel one. My wife. All right, so the Reno brothers. They're part of the Reno gang who operated in the Midwest. They're also known as the Jackson Thieves. They operated after the Civil War for a short time, and they carried out some three of the first peacetime train robberies right after the war. They're pretty successful. All right, so a little bit about them. We're just going to go right into the crimes. They served in the Civil War. They were bounty folks. They would go after guys that would skip out on service and whatnot. Go track them down. But after the Civil War, everybody's coming home looking for work. They were no different, couldn't find any. And so they got into a little bit of a life of crime. They hit some banks early on, and then they planned the first train robbery near Seymour, Indiana, where we're at tonight. In 1866, several of them boarded a train, cracked the safe, made off with $16,000. They were identified, arrested. They'd escape, bond out, whatever. I mean, they commit the crime, but they wouldn't serve very long, or they skip out, or whatever. They ultimately got successful enough, robbed enough, but they got the Pinkertons after them, and they were the big detective agency. So they had the Pinkertons after them, and eventually, on June 9th, they attempted to rob a train, but the Pinkertons were somehow tipped off, where they were waiting for them, and they caught them. Caught several of the gang members. They were taken off the train and hanged by the neck from a nearby tree. By a group of vigilantes. The Pinkertons had them in custody, but the vigilantes came and took them. On June 27th, 1868, the Pinkertons captured William and Simone Reno, leaders of the gang, in Indianapolis, and they were jailed. They were tried and convicted, but because of the threat, they were moved to a more secret location at the Floyd County Jail. And they were right. The vigilantes broke in to an empty jail because the Pinkertons had them moved. Frank Reno, the gang's leader, he was tracked down to Canada, and they were brought back to Indiana to join the other prisoners. On the night of December 11th, about 65 hooded men marched into the Floyd County Jail, where they're just after midnight, forced their way into the jail and the sheriff's home. They beat the sheriff and shot him in the arm for refusing to turn over the jail keys. The brothers were all hauled out, and they were lynched. Frank was the first one, and he was followed by William and Simone, his brothers, and then another gang member named Charlie Anderson. He was the last one to be lynched about 4:30 a.m. on December 12th. They were in federal custody when they were lynched, so that was the one and only time that federal prisoners were lynched. Usually it was a little more local. Here we are. Could have done a quicker walk from the street there, but I didn't want to. We'll start down at the plaque here real quick, see what the plaque says. The way it's set up, it's like they're like some special resident or something like that. Somebody, you know, they got their own plaque, they got their own fenced off section in the cemetery here. It says the Reno graves. Frank William and Simone Reno, leaders of the infamous Reno gang that committed the world's first train robbery at Seymour, October 6, 1866, were hanged by vigilantes in the New Albany jail December 12, 1868, and interned here December 15th, 1868. So, jailed and dead in 3 days. Nice path up here. Fully fenced in section here of only fenced in section I see in this cemetery. So you get the brothers there. William Reno. And you can see his original stone there. Civil War veteran. Like I said, they were all Civil War veterans. Simone Reno. And leader of the gang, Frank Reno. Only one original headstone. Well, there you go, guys. The grave of the Reno brothers, with the Reno brothers gang that had the first train robberies. Like I said, this is pretty easy to find. City cemetery. So like I said, it's only fenced in area, the whole cemetery. Right off the road. Got the gas station right there. So you could walk a short distance if you really wanted to. We'll do a walk around here. Yeah, the vigilante justice there was like, you know, they had stolen a couple $100,000 in that time's money. I'll have to put the amount what that is worth today. It's a good chunk of change. They had killed a few people in the process of all the robberies, so I'm sure that's part of the reason the town folks were so upset, wanted justice. Like I said, they had been bonded out a few times, they had been captured, escaped. So I think it was just the frustration of the local authorities not being able to keep them and do their job, and took it into their own hands to make sure it was finished. All right, guys, thanks. From Seymour, Indiana, the grave of the Reno brothers. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you made it that far. It's a long walk to the graves, kind of from where I decided to park, but right behind me there are the Reno brothers. If you haven't already, hope you subscribe. I do post cemetery videos almost every Sunday, except the second Sunday of the month. I save that for my Goonies stuff. I do some Thursdays, twice on Thursdays. 2 Thursdays a month I do just a seeing the sights video. Something stupid, something weird. Waterfalls, covers, bridges, world's largest stuff. Just stuff. So I guess that adds up to about 8 or 9 videos a month total. So plenty of stuff for everybody. If you haven't, check out like Faces of Forgotten, The Mon at Large. They all do a really good job on weird and unusual graves, and much better storytellers than I am or ever could be. So check out those guys. Oh, Scott on Tape, Whit Docks, Backroads. There's a whole ton of those guys out there. But again, thanks for joining me. The Reno Brothers grave, Seymour, Indiana, the Reno gang. Appreciate it. Until next time.